Coming up on Take 30 News, Lowndes County pitches in to help surrounding counties in Mississippi to recover from traumatic storms.
Plus, Starkville Utilities hosts an informational workshop. We have the details.
One on-campus organization hosts a suicide prevention walk. We'll tell you more. Your Take 30 News starts right now. Good afternoon. Welcome to Take 30 News. I'm Rufus Collins.
And I'm Phoebe Florian.
Shockwaves reverberating through the nation this morning.
For the first time in history, a person that has held the office of President of the United States faces criminal charges. Gloria Pazmino is in New York outside the Manhattan courthouse where former President Donald Trump is expected to turn himself in on Tuesday after a grand jury voted to indict him.
Former President Donald Trump now facing criminal charges after a Manhattan grand jury voted to indict him in connection to his alleged role in a payment scheme involving adult film star Stormy Daniels. All of that in the lead up to the 2016 presidential election.
Former President Donald Trump could face more than 30 counts related to business fraud when he is arraigned in New York Tuesday, marking the first time in American history that a current or former president has faced criminal charges.
I think the unprecedented indictment of a former president of the United States on a campaign finance issue is an outrage.
Sources familiar with the case tell CNN a Manhattan grand jury decided to move forward with charges against Trump late Thursday. The news drawing outrage from some Republicans.
This is legal voodoo.
Trump is expected to plead not guilty and call the indictment, quote, political persecution and election interference at the highest level. The long-running probe looked into whether hush money was paid to former adult film star Stormy Daniels during the 2016 presidential election and whether that was done at Trump's direction. Trump's former attorney and fixer Michael Cohen was previously sentenced to prison on federal campaign finance charges over his role in the $130,000 payment.
This is about the adage that no one is above the law. This is also about that whatever laws that sent me to prison should send him to prison.
Now, Trump and his lawyers have remained defiant. Trump has denied the charges, and Trump lawyers tell us they expect to file a motion to dismiss the charges at that appearance next Tuesday. Reporting from Lower Manhattan, Gloria Pazmino, back to you.
It's now time for your first look at your weather.
For that, we turn things over to Campus Connect meteorologist Ryan Duggar.
Well, luckily, things are clearing up out there. Earlier this morning, we did have some pretty cloudy skies along with some rain, but it looks like it is clearing a little bit. We got mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures still rising into the high 70s as those clouds build. And the same can be said for the rest of the northeastern Mississippi counties here, as most of the northeast is still in those high 70s. A little further to our east, it's going to be in the low 70s. And further on, earlier this afternoon, we did have some rain here, but that has since cleared out. But the return of severe weather will be tonight.
President Joe Biden and First Lady Jill Biden spent the day in the Magnolia State.
We're not just here for today. I'm determined that we're going to leave nothing behind. We're going to get it done for you. That's why I'm here, why your congressman here, why the governor's here. We're focused on making sure you got the place to sleep, food to eat, helping you rebuild your lives in Rolling Stone. But long term, I know this is your community. This is where you built your lives. And we're going to make sure you can stay right here. There's nothing we can do to heal the hole in your hearts left by the 13 people who passed, many of whom I met their families.
From March 24th tornado that killed 13 in Sharkey County and 21 total statewide. The Bidens also met with residents who were impacted by the storm. The President and First Lady were joined Friday by Governor Tate Reeves, First Lady Elle Reeves, and Senator Sidney Hyde-Smith. Representatives Benny Thompson. Biden says he wants to assure Rolling Fork residents of his administrative support.
Welcome back. Last weekend, we experienced heavy winds and mild rainfall. But that was not the case for other counties. Reporter Rashid Tatham has more.
A devastating tornado system swept through Mississippi and Alabama, leaving 26 dead. 2 of those deaths coming out of Monroe County. Now, Ottauquechee and Lowndes County are working together to offer areas impacted some relief.
I was able to talk to Lowndes County Sheriff Ari Hawkins, and I asked, how are they helping our neighboring counties?
We have a close relationship with our partner agencies in the surrounding counties. And our sheriff in Monroe County, Kevin Crook, put out a call for assistance the night of the storm. They were overwhelmed with a number of calls coming in for services, and we responded with a team of guys up to Monroe County to assist them in search and rescue efforts and assessing the damage right after the storm.
Sheriff Hawkins also explained that they are helping with patrolling these severe damaged areas to deter the act of looting and petty crimes.
Amory and Monroe County were hit especially hard, with over 100 homes being damaged.
Fortunately, we found 2 victims that had been fatally injured in the storm, and one critically injured. We helped remove those victims from the storm and get them the help that they needed, and basically recover the ones that were perished from the storm.
For continued updates and information on how to help, visit msema.org. Bet you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Rashid. The funeral for Covenant School shooting victims Evelyn Dykehouse is taking place today. Services for other victims are scheduled over the next few days.
Meanwhile, in Washington, D.C., as the Biden White House and Democratic lawmakers are pushing for gun safety legislation, many Republicans are not interested in taking steps in that direction. John Loring reports.
It's heartbreaking every time. It doesn't get any easier.
Gun safety advocates rallied outside of the Tennessee state capitol Thursday, still shaken by the school shooting earlier this week, where 3 adults and 3 children were killed.
Extreme MAGA Republicans should either join House Democrats in confronting the gun violence epidemic in America or get out of the way. It's that simple.
President Biden has repeatedly called on Congress to take action, including an assault weapons ban, but he's facing an uphill battle.
Republicans owe answers to the American people about why they won't protect our kids.
The GOP is in control of the House, and the chance of substantial gun legislation being passed through is slim to none. Some Republicans say Biden is trying to undermine the Second Amendment.
He's got no solutions to the problem. He's trying to politicize it, and he's trying to undermine the constitutional right of law-abiding citizens, and it's not going to happen.
And others say going after guns isn't the way to address mass shootings.
The problem that we are today, it's not just going to be a legislation. We've got to have a severe conversation here with this country. We've got to deal with mental illness.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Monday's incident at the Covenant School was the deadliest school shooting since May of last year, when 21 people were killed in Uvalde, Texas. Coming up, we take a look at an on-campus organization making an effort to bring awareness to suicide prevention.
Stay tuned.
What if you could be part of one of the top engineering schools in the nation without ever leaving the coast? Well, now you can. Mississippi State's collaboration with Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College allows you to earn core credits while pursuing a 4-year degree in mechanical or electrical engineering, all in the same location. And with classes taught by MSU professors, the world-renowned education you couldn't find anywhere else is now in your own backyard. To learn more about this great opportunity, visit us online.
Be aware of your surroundings is a phrase we've all heard before, but it's important to know what to be aware of, especially in your own hometown. Our Izzy McLaren takes a look at the issue facing many college towns.
Human trafficking is a topic people hear about and push from their minds, thinking, this couldn't happen to me. For the state of Mississippi, this is not necessarily the case. Unfortunately, Mississippi frequents the list of top 10 states with the most human trafficking cases reported yearly per capita. MSU organization No Longer Bound is working to bring awareness to campus and to the Starkville community about this issue. Despite this being a very prominent issue in the Starkville community, so many students and community members aren't aware of the dangers that are in their very own backyards. While No Longer Bound is making progress in bringing awareness to human trafficking, many students and Starkvillians are still uninformed about the reality of the situation. One current MSU student had this to say after being shown the startling statistics.
And I have heard a lot of situations where peers of mine have been in public places in Starkville and have felt uncomfortable and have seen signs of human trafficking. However, I never hear anybody higher up really talk about it as much as it needs to be.
Having learned these stats, a few students said they would like campus officials to be forthcoming about their safety and to be taught about human trafficking during sexual assault and violence education training as freshmen. When contacted to speak on human trafficking in Starkville and on campus, neither the Starkville Police nor campus police responded. To find more information about reporting signs of human trafficking, visit humantraffickinghotline.org. Live with Take 30 News, I'm Izzy Maherl.
If you're interested in more tips on combating human trafficking, visit msh.ms.gov. A lot is being done to help prevent suicide. The Out the Darkness Walk is just one of them.
The American Foundation for Suicide Prevention is partnering with Mississippi State Psychology Graduate Student Association to host the Out of the Darkness Walk. They are sending the message that suicide can be preventable and that nobody is alone in their fight. The walk isn't just for those who are struggling. AFSP encourages those who support the ones struggling to also join them.
So kind of starting those conversations, that's why we picked the junction specifically, so it's a little bit more of an intimate walk, so people are going to be kind of around, and there'll be a lot of tabling events going on, so kind of being able to raise funds as well as just kind of raise awareness and start those conversations.
The table event isn't just to get people to register for the walk. It also is a way to help raise awareness for suicide prevention. There you go.
And it's also going to be providing some resources for students. So we have things about the 988 number, as well as some on-campus resources, and just in general kind of how to cope with suicide loss or cope with suicidal thoughts.
Pate says the best way to know if someone is struggling is to reach out to them. It makes them feel seen and that they have a voice.
Suicide is the 12th leading cause of death, and here on college campuses, it's around the college age, it's the 3rd leading cause of death.
Even if you aren't able to attend the walk, the Psychology Graduate Student Association is handing out stickers, buttons, and flyers so you can still be involved. The walk takes place on Saturday, April 1st at 10 a.m. at the Junction. You can register online at afsp.org/msstate or at the event starting at 9 a.m. For Take 30 News, I'm Phoebe Florian.
The on-campus counseling services are open for walk-in appointments and virtual appointments online if you or someone you know needs help.
Kadeja Brown is a Columbus woman accused of shooting and killing her husband on Facebook Live. It happened early Saturday morning at Green Tree Apartments after a verbal altercation between the couple. A handgun and a shell casing were recovered by Lowndes County deputies at the scene. The bond for Brown is set at $750,000. This is still an active and ongoing investigation. As we learn more information, we will continue to update this story. After the break, Ryan Duggar gives a full look into weather. Stay tuned.
Performance at the highest level is the objective of every athlete. But what can athletes accomplish if they understood and responded to everything their bodies are telling them? Mississippi State University's Athlete Engineering program is designing and deploying groundbreaking advanced wearable technology that creatively collects millions of data points for researchers to analyze, predict performance, and improve body mechanics. Researchers in engineering, kinesiology, sociology, textiles, and more disciplines are working together to test and design new technology that leads to winning results. In addition to helping athletes reach their highest potential, this collaborative program is reducing injuries and protecting the health of competitors now and far into the future. Mississippi State University. Farming can be a tough way to make a living. Weather, pricing pressures, and unpredictable swings in demand can take a toll, not only on farmers' finances, but on their mental health, as well as that of family members and farm workers. That's why Mississippi State University is spearheading a program to train extension agents to detect the signs of depression, substance abuse, and other stress-related challenges. Everyone has a bad day, of course, but this holistic view of a farmer's circumstances enables MSU representatives to recognize the difference between routine struggles and deeper, more serious issues. It may be a tough conversation, but the sooner it gets started, the sooner farmers can get help to better manage stress and continue the important work of growing the products our world needs. Caring for farms and farmers. Mississippi State University.
Well, more severe weather is on the way for Mississippi later tonight, and actually the Storm Prediction Center has issued a moderate risk for most of our northern Mississippi counties, and actually a high risk, which we haven't seen in quite a few years, meaning that there is a good chance for severe weather tonight with multiple storms. And this is actually what we can expect with those storms. It's going to produce high winds and tornadoes along with that. And so where this is going to be, we could see gusts up to 45 to 50 miles per hour in some places, and tornadoes can pack a punch tonight. But since these storms are going to be moving pretty fast, I'm not expecting hail or flooding to be much of an issue. And we can see that timing tonight, where we'll see that right around 4 o'clock to 11 o'clock, that's where this area of Mississippi will be getting those storms impacting right here. This is a wind advisory here, so that's where we can expect those strong winds, but no tornado watches for our area yet. And then right around our area, this is where we'll start to see those storms make an impact between 7 and 4 a.m. And I'm expecting that tornado threat to be around 7 to 11 p.m. that night. And then those storms will continue moving further toward Meridian into Alabama as we continue on into Saturday morning. And it's important that for when these tornadoes are coming, it's best to know your safe place. So if you're in a house like this, it's best to be in a central room, like a bathroom, closet, laundry room that doesn't have any windows, so that you can stay safe. If you live in a mobile home, it's important that you seek out the closest tornado shelter possible, because those tornadoes can pick those up and toss them around a little bit. But as we continue on to the weekend, after those storms move past, we'll start to see that really nice temperatures come back on Saturday with some pretty sunny skies, as temperatures will rise into the high 70s. But then Sunday, we'll see temperatures lower a little bit into the low 70s, where mostly sunny skies will be, along with that baseball game on Saturday. And then we'll also see that the return of a lot of rain comes in for most of the southeast, but we'll see that for this Tuesday, we'll see that some severe weather starts to return, and then rain will continue throughout most of next week.
Coming up, we'll take a look at our own Emmanuel Forbes, who could potentially be a first-round NFL draft pick.
Ryan Norman will have more for us after the break.
Meeting the challenges of a changing world. It's a responsibility we take seriously at Mississippi State University. Today, our outstanding faculty are on the job with a passion that places them among the best in the business. We're launching new classroom models, investing in world-changing research, and providing a college experience that's second to none. Though things may look different, our sights have never been higher.
To be or not to be? That is the question that echoes the walls of the theater department at Mississippi State University. Nurturing the voice and movement of a new generation of dynamic storytellers. An inclusive program welcoming all to a broad course of study in directing, stagecraft, playwriting, and acting. Discover your passion in performance and production with MSU Theater.
Print. It opens the doors to the world of communication. It's where a student can be anything. It teaches teamwork, diligence, loyalty, and responsibility. At Mississippi State, we are dedicated to further the field of journalism. We make sure to tell the story no matter how challenging. We incorporate all aspects to help you grow as a student and as a person. So, what are you waiting for?
Welcome back to Take 30 Sports. I'm Moriah Norman with your sports for the week. With the NFL draft approaching soon, we are looking out for our Bulldog contender Emmanuel Forbes, who was listed as a possible first-round pick. Forbes says his skill set is there, even making a bold statement believing he's the best cornerback in the draft. But some argue his 6'1", 170-pound size might be that determining factor. After MSU's Pro Day, he was asked about why teams would potentially pass on him. Here's what he had to say for those who doubt him because of his weight.
Think you're the best corner in this draft?
Yes, 100%.
What do you think of, there's been a lot of mocks of you going first or second round. What do you think what do you think that is about you that teams might not be seeing in the projections that are a little later than round one?
A lot of teams just try to knock me for my weight, and if I feel like they're not gonna pick me because of where I weigh, they just make a mistake, honestly.
Well, you guys heard him loud and clear. We'll see if others agree with him or not come the NFL draft in the next couple of weeks. And then there were only 4. March Madness has reached the Final Four, and even though State is no longer a contender, some fans are still banking on their bracket predictions to pull through. LSU's women's basketball will face Virginia Tech at 6 today, and right after, number 1 South Carolina will take on Iowa. I don't think anyone is still in the running for men's bracket predictions. There were a lot of upsets this go around. So this leaves Florida Atlantic taking on San Diego State tomorrow and Miami playing UConn right after. In other basketball news, we have 3 Bulldogs putting their names in the upcoming WNBA draft. These players are Anastasia Hayes, Ajanay Johnson, and Elena Smith. The Diamond Dogs SEC gameplay continues against South Carolina tonight. The boys couldn't pull through in Game 1 yesterday. Colton Ledbetter tied up the game 3-3 in the bottom of the 5th, but the Gamecocks responded with 2 more runs, making it 5-3. State unfortunately couldn't catch back up after losing 6-4. A chance for redemption starts tonight at 6 p.m. Mississippi State softball welcomes SEC reigning champ and number 10 seed Arkansas to Starkville. These girls will host a 3-game series this weekend. Game 1 is already underway. We have a live look for you, and I have the score update as well. So we have number 34, Matalasi Fahapido, who is starting up on the mound. And if you guys, right after this show, tune into the game. And before I end, it wouldn't be right to not give our own Julia Lopez Ramirez a special shout out. She made her debut at the Augusta National Women's Amateur Tournament. What an honor just to be there, and she's truly representing Mississippi State well. Well, Bulldogs, that's all I have for this week's sports. I'm handing it back over to Phoebe and Rufus. Hell State.
Thanks, Moriah. After the break, we'll take a look at Starkville Utilities as they make an effort to help local residents manage the usage of utilities.
As concern grows over the declining health of the world's oceans, veterinary students at Mississippi State are learning how to rescue and rehabilitate vulnerable marine animals. Through a unique partnership between the College of Veterinary Medicine and the Institute of Marine Mammal Studies in Gulfport, Mississippi, students are experiencing the chance of a lifetime. Real-time research of this fragile ecosystem prepares students for a future in providing care for sick and stranded dolphins, turtles, sea lions, and other marine species. At the same time, MSU's advanced diagnostic technology is helping innovate for solutions while improving treatment and outcomes. Not only are the waters of the Gulf Coast opening new worlds of discovery for Mississippi State veterinary students, they are much safer now, thanks to this game-changing partnership that's improving life for literally hundreds of aquatic animals.
A workshop about saving energy took place at the Starkville Utilities Operations Center. Rufus Collins has more on how to better utilize our energy.
The Starkville Utilities Operations Center is lending a helping hand to the community through an informational workshop. The interactive sessions feature 2 different locations and times to accommodate most residents.
One for the Starkville Housing Authority, and then we'll do one at Brickfire. It is a combination of adult and children workshops. We encourage everyone to participate. It's about saving on your utilities and how to become more energy efficient.
The people in attendance filled out a survey and in return received the energy kit. The kit featured light bulbs and foam sealant and a step-by-step guide through HVAC maintenance and lighting management. Guest speaker Jim Parcell says there are many ins and outs when it comes to energy.
First of all, how the home uses energy, what uses the least, what uses the most, and then the most efficient ways to use energy. And then I summarize the programs that TVA and Starkville utilities have to help customers.
Purcell says the skills learned during the workshops won't just save energy, but money too.
We're here for the community, and our goal is to teach people how to lower their energy bills.
For Take 30 News, I'm Rufus Collins.
You can find more information on Starkville Utilities by visiting their website.
There is an opportunity to experience some history that will make you feel right at home. Our reporter Drew Parsley has more on the story.
The Preservation Society of Columbus is presenting the opening weekend of the 83rd Annual Spring Pilgrimage Jubilee of Homes. Attendees will get the experience of walking through some of the city's most unique and architecturally diverse homes with tours offered.
They say if you don't understand your past, you fail in the future. So this is a way to look back on where we've been and what we've done, and hopefully also look forward to what we can do in the city to make it a more exciting and livable space.
Mr. Knoll filled in for Mayor Keith Gaskin on the Mayor's Walk to give attendants some history about the downtown area. Knoll explained how a lot of the buildings are made from brick due to a surge of fires to buildings and homes that were made from wood in the city's earlier days.
So it's an opportunity to look at and learn about the architecture and how the city evolved from what it was 200 years ago to what it is today.
Tours and special events are happening every weekend from today until April 23rd. Reporting for Take 30 News, this is Drew Parsley.
Well, that's all the time we have for you today. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you next time.